turn 4. The battle is on. It's going to be too close to call side by side. Wong Do gets it. Oh, we got contact. We got flips. We got big wrecks here. Going back to the front because we're racing back to the line.
William Page with the victory.
Looking for second here.
Musa's gonna.
Oh, he's gonna use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're gonna be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's gonna be a drag race to the line. Musa gets it.
Tom Musa, where did he come from?
Boyer trying to close the gap. He's gonna get to the bumper. Oh, just barely did not make it. And coming off of turn 4, Jeff Stekenis is gonna win it at Dover.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the All-Star Racing Cup Series here from the Martinsville Speedway live on JTN. As always, I'm your host, Joe TowNetwork. Alongside me tonight, the one and only Mr. Tommy Bordeaux. Tommy, welcome to the paperclip. Do you like office supplies?
Well, I sure do, Joe. And let me tell you, this office supply in front of us is a asphalt and concrete mix of the largest paperclip in the world, I am sure. And for these drivers, that's going to be the venue that decides their fate in the Championship 4 here in the All-Star Racing Cup Series.
And we're going to set that championship for by the end of tonight's race. We already know 2 drivers moving on. And Tommy, we also know our starting lineup for tonight. Why don't you take us through it?
Well, that's right, Joe. The always fast Todd Wilson and that 11 team, they've got speed here tonight, winning the pole with a time of 20.60 seconds. Edging out ASR HUD in the 4 car, Nick Curry in row number 2 with last week's winner Dennis Chambers to his outside. Mike Ireland and Dave Chin make up row number 3 with Dominator and Ryan Johnson. In row number 4, Brian Lavelle and Randy Waugh make up your top 10. Postal, Parkin, Menifee, Billy Bob, and Dean Gautreaux make up the rest of your 15-car field tonight.
We're going to go for 140 laps tonight here from the Martinsville Speedway. Divide that up into 3 stages. Stage 1 ending on lap 32. Stage 2 coming to a conclusion halfway at lap number 70. We'll award those points. It'll be interesting to watch, Tommy, what drivers decide to go after those playoff points, because as we take a look at our standings after last week's race at the Kansas Speedway, we know Todd Wilson, we know Nick Curry, they're going to be advancing on, but then right at the bubble, Jeremy Menifee, Mike Ireland, DC88, Randy Waugh, they're all within striking distance.
It's a very close battle, and Mike Ireland, one of those guys that had a really great race at Kansas, collected some stage points with strategy moves, and towards the end was able to hang on to a top 5 finish. And for that 00 team, that's exactly what they needed to do. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Dave Chin and the A8 team had a disaster at Kansas. Ended up on his lid, and really, not the type of night that he needed. So he's going to have some work to do. Something to note throughout the field, though, Joe, the 70 of Tyler Hunter and that team not at the race tonight. So they would effectively be eliminated from competition if we don't get them here to see the green flag in a couple minutes.
Yep, they will not be starting the race tonight or the race next week in Phoenix. Some funding fell through on that 70 team, so not going to be able to make it to these last 2 events. One error on that graphic, as my stats department is currently telling me, is words. Jeremy Menifee, he's actually plus 11 to that cutoff, so really it's going to be the battle between Mike Ireland, Dave Chin, and Randy Waugh. Those guys really within striking distance, but Billy Bob down there in 8th, Tommy, he's in that must-win situation.
Yeah, Joe, technically he can make it on points if he capitalized on having good stage points and his competitors had bad nights, but for all intents and purposes, it is a must-win for Billy Bob in that 16. They've had a rough round of 8. They have had some speed at some points, but tonight they didn't qualify, or set a time in qualifying, I should say, so coming from the back, it appears that stage points are not on their mind. It's a survival game to hopefully make it to the end and give yourself a shot to win the race. That's what that 16's got to do to make it to the Final 4.
Just have to win. It's that easy, right? That's all you gotta do. No
That's all you
points,
gotta
nothing. Just win. But folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in here tonight. Hello, Mackenzie Weston. Thank you for tuning in here. We got a bunch of great races coming up for you on JTN tonight, tomorrow night, and then next week we have 2 championship races from out in the desert with Hobo Racing on Tuesday, and then, of course, the All-Star Racing Cup Series finale next Wednesday night. So you're going to want to make sure you stay tuned to JTN, you're subscribed, so you don't miss a second of any of the action. Happy Hour winding down right now. A little bit of short track racing on a Wednesday night, midweek night. That's a nice little unique treat for us here on JTN.
Yeah, absolutely. And for a venue to host this end of round of 8 race here to decide who goes to that Final Four, there's nothing more classic than a little bit of short track action.
Happy Hour has come to its conclusion. Cars lining up on the back stretch, and we will get ready to go racing here from the Martinsville Speedway. $15 drivers making up tonight's field, of which 7 are playoff competitors. So more non-playoff guys tonight, Tommy, than playoff guys. So will be something to watch.
Certainly will, Joe. And the question that's going to be on all these drivers' minds here in the playoffs, how aggressive do you want to be early on? You know, do you want to go after those stage points?
Start your engines.
Here's the command to start engines. You know, do you want to go after those stage points early? Do you want to take that risk to make the hard moves and maybe use up your stuff and get involved in an accident? Or do you want to save it to the end, hope to go for that win? Well, we'll find out here as we are getting underway shortly.
Todd Wilson will lead him to the line. Hud to his outside. Nick Curry, Dennis Chambers, Mike Ireland, your top 5. Down into the start zone we go. Green flag, and we're underway. It's a quick one here at Martinsville.
Very brisk pace to start this race. Todd Wilson on the inside, definitely the preferred groove here at Martinsville. Nick Curry going to follow in behind him and try and clear Hud into turn number 3. They're spreading out as we go back through the pack.
Curry gets on by. Hud back to 3rd. Dennis Chambers now looking to the inside. A little tap there to the rear bumper of the 4. Chambers loses a bunch of momentum off of 4. That's going to allow Mike Ireland to get to his inside for 4th.
Mike Ireland and that 00 team, again, they've done a good job closing out races, picking up points where they can. Tonight, entering in 2 points above that cut line. If they can do what they typically do, they'll have a really good shot at making this Final Four, especially with Tyler Hunter not being here. Randy Waugh back there 5 positions behind him right now, and Dave Chin also in the rear view mirror of that 00 car.
Oh, contact there. Lovell around off of turn number 2. That's going to bring out caution number 1 on the night. You saw it live on your screen. Looks like that 043 got a little loose through the center of the corner, Tommy.
Just a little bit. So easy to do. You know, you can drive it in really hard into these corners at Martinsville, but if it's too hard and that rear end breaks loose on you, it's going to be awfully difficult to save. Luckily for everybody else, though, a great job avoiding Lovell, and, oh man, hitting that curb really is what upset that car.
Hey, but slow crash, no big hits, you know, no biggie, right?
Yeah, no biggie. I mean, that's something that definitely that 043 team can recover from, and certainly not a race ender. Now, we're going to see a lot of cars staying out, but Jerry Menifee and that 3 team, they're coming down to pit road.
Remember, coming into tonight, 11 points to the good on the cutoff, so just need to, you know, most likely need to finish just inside the top 10, and they'll secure their spot on to the next round. So 3 team taking it easy here. Of course, those stage points could always come into play, but probably feeling okay if you're the driver of the number 3.
Yeah, the luxury of some good finishes there at Kansas last night really allows that 3 team to feel pretty good about their situation. You certainly can't take it too easy here and you know, finish poorly, but you know, the important part for them is going to be making it to the end of this thing. If they can do that, they will get a good finish, and certainly I think that 3 team is going for that strategy here tonight.
Well, while we're working our first caution of the night, folks, we're going to turn your attention to our first poll of the night in chat. Which automaker do you think will win tonight's race? Chevrolet, Ford, Toyota, or there's an option for other. Tell us what automaker you think will win the race. Vote in the poll, or if you think maybe it's, you know, you see that Dodge of Chambers that won last week. I believe I saw a Pontiac. That 043 is a Pontiac, so got Pontiacs out there as well. So if you don't like any of the 3 options we gave you, you click that other button. Tell us in chat who you think or what manufacturer you think will win tonight's race here under our first yellow. Pace car lights go out this time. We'll go back green flag racing, coming to lap 8 of 140.
So I voted other in the poll and I accidentally hit Toyota. Just know that Pontiac vote is for the other.
Someone
Maybe
else clicked on it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But hey, there you go.
Race car going to come down the pit lane. Todd Wilson with control. Single file restarts here, coming to lap 8 of 140. Just a fourth of the way through this opening stage. Green flag, we're back underway.
Gonna have to say, Joe, these single file restarts, I think they might actually help your second place driver a little
Oh,
bit.
contact, chin around.
Oh no, and there goes Dominator as well, doesn't hit anything.
No caution on track. We stay green. We're still green.
Dominator's not in a good position right there, as the leaders are not quite there to him. Here they come now. There's the yellow flag.
Did you replay what happened there between that Toyota and Chevrolet? Like it, 99 gets down in there a little too hot. 88 gets a little loose maybe on corner exit, and just two guys in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, that 99 was just up a little bit in the corner and not next to that curb. And I think, you know, to his outside, if a car's turning across you like that when they don't expect it to be as far up the racetrack, that's kind of what ends up happening. But again, those slow speed crashes, not a whole lot of contact, any walls there. I think both cars are going to be okay to continue.
Well, they'll be okay to continue, and we'll be right back here on JTN. And we're back, Tommy, working our second caution of the night on lap 10 of 140. What are you seeing out there on track?
Well, Joe, as we're pacing here and Todd Wilson's in the lead, that 11 team, remember, they locked themselves into this Final Four a while ago, but they haven't looked back as far as putting their best foot forward each and every week. Tonight, limited practice time for this 11 team, slow to get that car up off the hauler, late to the track, and yet came out to win this pole. So for that 11 team to be able to start up front to show everybody that even with limited practice time, they can be faster than anyone else, really gives you that sense that this crew knows what it takes to win the championship, and they have that fast unloading speed that's going to be very, very important next week at Phoenix.
Hey, not getting to the track on time worked A-OK for another one of those Toyota drivers, and Daniel Hemrick in the Xfinity Series 2 weeks ago at Phoenix. So maybe that's the winning strategy for Joe Gibbs Racing affiliated cars, like this 11 team appears to be.
I'm sure they wouldn't choose that strategy, but if it is given to them, they seem to rise up to the task. And honestly, at this point, Joe, it looks like that 11 car is the one to beat. We've seen challenges from Nick Curry, both under pacing as well as green flag conditions. But that 2 car, Joe, it seems like they're on a little bit of a slump compared to what they were a couple weeks ago. They had a lot of momentum, but it's kind of fizzled out here towards the end of the round of 8. Hopefully they can bring it back for Phoenix tomorrow. Or excuse me, next week, I should say.
Phoenix next week, but tonight we're short track racing in Virginia at the Martinsville Speedway. Wilson with control. He'll take the field up near that outside wall. Got to be careful of that. Don't want to get marbles on those tires here for the restart. Back down and away we go. Green flag once again.
Definitely got to watch further back in the field. This car's accordion into turn number 1. That's where the incident was last time, and I think on restarts you're going to see a lot of problems there, most likely. Oh, there's one deep. Chin got really loose off the corner, almost hit that inside wall, but able to keep it off. And that 88 team not having the best start to tonight, and they need a good race here.
Back up front, Todd Wilson pulling away from Nick Curry. Then it's Hudd in third, Dennis Chambers fourth, and Mike Ireland rounding out your top 5. Everyone being a little courteous now. We got those couple quickies at the start of the race, and boys are settling down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the opening nerves here, just making sure you find your way to the racetrack and around this place, and being able to run with other cars is important. And once you get that out of your system, maybe you get some of the wrecks out of your system, you're going to be calmed down a little bit, and I think that's what we're seeing right here. Remember, it's a long race, and you know, we still have stage breaks and cautions coming up at scheduled times, so there's certainly plenty of time for these guys to relax, take it easy, dial in their cars, and not worry too much about their position, unless, of course, they are going for stage points.
Yeah, I really want to get a long run in here, right? I want to kind of see what I got for later in this race, because we know there isn't a guaranteed caution in those last 70 laps, and depending on how the field runs through stage 1, stage 2, there's no guarantee that we'll have, you know, a lot of cars out there by the end of this race, so that's something you got to consider when you're one of these drivers out there. Hey, do your research now. You don't want to have to do it late in the going.
Absolutely. Martinsville, especially one of those rhythm tracks, you know what I mean? And you want to be able to get in that long run rhythm, because it can really help you out just staying focused, hitting your marks, and really just getting that car around the corners, even when the tires are wearing away. Joe, I've had some times here at Martinsville where it feels like in the middle of the run, you know, on older tires, I feel faster, and I am faster time-wise than when I started the run, just because I've got myself in that rhythm. Speaking of rhythms right now, looks like this 2-car Nick Curry having a hard time doing so. Sideways off the corner, it seems, just about every lap out of 2.
Well, and if you look behind them, Chambers and Ireland, they've kind of closed the gap on HUD there in 3rd, starting to heat up the back bumper of that Busch Beer Ford Mustang. Don't know why I said it like that, but I did.
Chambers there in that Dodge, the number 10 car. Had that win last week at Kansas, of course not in the playoffs, but I'm sure that felt very good for them. Just to knock off a victory here in front of all these playoff drivers and, of course, on the broadcast. This race for 3rd is definitely heating up, Joe. You are right.
It's always good to win when you're on TV, right?
Oh,
never
all the
hurts.
time. First retirement of the night, Brian Lovell in that it's like 43 team, that's right, 043 team involved in that first incident tonight has retired from the race. So, looks like the Pontiacs are out of it for now, Joe. My vote is not going to make it to the end of this thing.
That is unfortunate for you. Curry continues to have issues, like you said, just can't get into that rhythm.
Oh no, there it goes parking around out of turn number 2, able to get out of the way of Dominator, who was fast approaching, but we will have a caution.
Let's get you a replay of what happened here. Oh. It's like 222 brakes a lot earlier than the 88. Chin trying to make up some ground. Contact with the back of Parkin. He tries to get back going, loops it coming off of turn number 2. That's what brings out the yellow.
Yeah, boy, kind of an interesting second spin right there after the contact, trying to get the car going again. I suppose on maybe worn rear tires after that spin, they struggled for traction and grip, applying the throttle, and especially out of line there, up high like he was. It's a recipe for a little bit of slipping around on there. And, well, Joe, this is going to bring us pretty close to the end of stage 1, I believe.
Yeah, it'll probably be about a 3-4 lap run to the end of the stage, and we're kind of seeing the effects of that. Those 3 playoff guys, Menifee, Wah, and Billy Bob, all coming down the pit lane, so they're going to get their service now and would have to think, Tommy, they're going to stay out at the stage break.
Yeah, a little bit of strategy call to get themselves track position. Joe, track position here at Martinsville is really the king. You want to be in front of somebody, and even if they have a little bit of a chrome horn on the front, usually you can, if you're any faster than them, you can pull away pretty easily. But I'll tell you what, for those guys that made that strategy call, again, even those stage points they're giving them up now, or even the possibility of getting them, remember, for Wah and for Billy Bob, it really seems like at this point it is sort of a must-win situation.
You're so far back in the field, and it's going to be a single file restart here. It's going to be hard to kind of make up those positions in a short amount of time. Come down the pit lane, set yourself up for the end for stage 2 to maybe get some stage points then. You maybe make up that difference, right? It'll also makes for better TV, right? When you got different guys up towards the front than you've had for most of the race, it'll be an interesting sight to see, no doubt. once we go back green. Tommy, do you like t-shirts?
Oh yeah, I wear them every day.
Oh, yeah?
T-shirts are the shirt of choice for Tommy Bordeaux.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. T-shirts are the shirt of choice for Tommy Bordeaux, and you yourself can get some great t-shirts right now on the JTN merch store, linked in the description below, including this beautiful JTN race car merch. Available on t-shirts as well as hoodies. You know, hoodies are always good for when it gets a little cold outside. It's starting to get chilly throughout the country. You can head on over now to the JTN merch store. You can pick yourself up some JTN merch. Also, keep a lookout on our socials. We're going to be running a Black Friday sale through Cyber Monday, so you're gonna wanna maybe you're in the market for some new t-shirts. Why not? You know, why not help us out here at JTN? Check out our merch store and make sure you're following us on Twitter to see when those discount codes go live. Getting ready to go back green. Wilson with control, Curry, Hud, Chambers, your top 4 with Ireland back there in 5th. Green flag, we're back underway.
Wilson way ahead of Curry there. Curry on the back foot a little bit with Hud right behind him. Made up that gap under Brittany in turn number 1, but that 11 car is very strong on the restart. And he wants this stage victory and, of course, the all-important interview at the end of it.
Always does a good job with those interviews, too, huh? I think
Absolutely.
Gives him that little extra motivation. Field staying static for now. Gonna be 3 laps to go in the stage this time at the line. 2 laps to go. Scratch that. Again, I'm watching this 2-car, Tommy, and he cannot figure out the line.
Yeah, that's going to be very difficult and frustrating, really. You know, his car's not working where he wants it to. You see him trying to take a high entry there into 1, maybe just to try something on that car. But I'm sure they're going to be very, very glad to have a upcoming pit stop opportunity for them to make some adjustments, because that 2-car looks pretty evil at this point, Joe.
Well, Wilson, he doesn't see the white flag, but this is the final lap of stage number 1. Going to look to close out another dominant start to a race here in the All-Star Racing Cup Series, coming through turns 3 and 4. Randy Waugh around there. Everybody swerving to avoid him. Todd Wilson, though, he'll win stage 1 here from Martinsville.
Well, that was quite the finish to the stage right there. Randy Waugh, a wild Randy Waugh appearing in the way, and luckily nobody hit him. That was a scary moment, especially for those leaders.
Let's see what happened here with the 21. Oh, it's going to be contact with the 88.
Oh, man, and again, Dave Chin involved in another incident.
I don't think he's making too many friends here tonight.
No, and you know, it's almost desperation mode. They've struggled for the past couple weeks here, and knowing you need a good night tonight, you know, no holding back, and unfortunately, something they've got to watch is that incident limit. We saw last week in Kansas, one of those drivers caused 2 incidents and had to park it, so we'll have to see if that will apply here tonight.
Todd Wilson, Nick Curry, Hud, Chambers, they all elect to forego pit stops here, Tommy, so why don't you dial up our stage 1 winner?
Sure thing, let's bring him on in. And here he is, Todd Wilson. This is Tommy Bordeaux up in the JTN booth. How you doing? Congratulations on that stage 1 victory.
Hey guys, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're enjoying the paperclip tonight.
Well, you didn't have that much practice time, if any, and you came out and won the pole. That 11 team unloads fast, and it's hard to imagine anyone's going to have that kind of pace to beat you tonight or at Phoenix if you guys keep that up.
Well, that purple car behind me, that 2 Ally Chevrolet, you never know about that driver. So I think, and there's a lot of other short track aces in the field tonight too. So we're just going to try and stay up front, you know, stay out of trouble, and you know, try and avoid calamity.
How are those tires looking for you, Todd? I mean, we saw you know, you didn't come down the pit lane here like we were maybe thinking you would. Are the tires are looking okay then?
There's a little wear. It's not, you know, like, it's not a necessity to come down and get new tires right now. So I think we'll be okay until the end of the next run, and then we'll definitely come in and pit and for fresh rubber and tires. But yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, you just have to control, have to be careful not to slide the tires getting into the turns, and just take care of the tires the best you can.
Well, Todd, it looks like we're going back green next time at the line. Crew Chief Spotter wanted us to get off the radio with you. Congratulations on the Stage 1 win, and good luck throughout the rest of this race.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Todd Wilson, driver of the number 11 FedEx Toyota, your Stage 1 winner here from Martinsville, your points leader, and probably the Vegas favorite to win the championship next week in Phoenix.
Absolutely, but you heard of concerns over that 2 behind him. We'll see later in the running here as these guys on older tires watch those wheels spin on the restart. Hopefully they can get everything right and straight. Here comes Todd Wilson to the restart zone, and away we go, back here at Martinsville.
Wilson with about a car length and a half. Yeah, car length. Gap back to Dick Curry as we come off of turn number 2. Still single file field makes their way nice and orderly down the back straightaway.
Remember Jeremy Menifee in that 3, the highest up car with some fresher rubber on board. See if he can utilize that and make any moves with it. You heard Todd Wilson just now say tires not that big of a factor here at Martinsville, but I'm sure any fresh opportunities on tires are going to be appreciated at points throughout this race for sure.
Well, and Tommy, you talked about it earlier, like trying to get into your rhythm, and that's when you started running your fastest laps. I also think there's a degree of there's a nice little threshold for tire wear here at Martinsville, more so than any other track, right? A lot of tracks you think of, all right, fresh tires, that's going to get me to victory lane. Not necessarily the case here at Martinsville, because as those tires wear out, at least for me, they get a little more heat in them, the pressures build up, and they feel a little bit nicer.
Absolutely, Joe. Getting that heat and pressure in them is really what makes a difference here. And I'll tell you what, this battle for second place here is really the battle to watch because there's a lot of cars involved in it. They're single file for now, but Nick Curry is being hunted, that's for sure.
Feels like he's kind of holding up the rest of these guys, doesn't it?
Just a little bit, and that's so easy to do at Martinsville. If you're a slower driver, you just hope you don't let everyone by, because if you let one by, it's going to be a freight train up.
Just had an accordion there through turn 2. Going to allow Chin to go on by Menifee. Caution is out. What's this one for? 99 around on the front straightaway. And he's just going to get loose, getting back on throttle off the corner. Just for a little loop-de-loop. I guess you could say Martinsville is dominating Dominator tonight.
Well, Joe, here we are on JTN tonight for this race here at Martinsville. We know that next week is the championship finale here at the All-Star Racing Cup Series, but what other races do we have coming up on the schedule?
Well, Tommy, I'm glad you asked, and thanks to our partners at TWB Technologies, because together we're always better. The Hobo Racing Modifieds take to the Bull Ring West tomorrow night right here on JTN. Tune in at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time for some more short track racing under the lights. Then the USORL Retro Series is live from the Pensacola Super Speedway, 10:45 p.m. Eastern Time this Saturday night, November the 20th. And next Tuesday, it's the Hobo Racing Cup Series season finale from the Phoenix Raceway. Coverage begins there 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Crown a champion. All-Star Racing Cup Series crowns their champion next week at Phoenix 2 on Wednesday. Same time, same place, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Then the Hobo Racing Modifieds from Martinsville on November the 30th. Special event there. Coverage beginning 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. All those races, of course, though, live only on JTN. You know, it's always fun to have races live only on JTN, you know?
This is the place you gotta go.
Hey, if you got NR 2003 League, you want a broadcaster, I mean, here we are, right?
Here we are indeed. And Joe, you know, speaking of being here, how about being here in Martinsville? I've been here in real life. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yes, I have. A couple of years ago, came here, met up with William Page of USRL Fandom, and yeah, enjoyed some fun truck racing. Loved the trucks. I saw the Mike Seneca experience live in his final truck start, and Clinton Boyer, one of his final wins in the Cup Series as well.
Dang, I can't. You said that. Now I'm remembering. I saw Clint Boyer's last Cup Series win in person. Wow.
Well, there you go.
Coming back to green, Todd Wilson hoping it's not his last win on the books here tonight. Green flag, we're back underway. Lap 47 of 140.
Curry, a little bit of a higher line through 1 and 2 that time. Gotta be
88.
careful. Oh, man. Hang on to her, Dave.
He is going for it right now in that 88 car.
Yeah, and that's worrying, Joe, because we've seen him standing into corners a lot, get lose control of his car. You don't want to be doing that, especially when the margins are still pretty close for him to make it up. You don't want to risk too much here early on in the race.
There's only 2 points out coming into tonight, and I think Ireland probably got a point in the first stage, so still within grasp to make it into the next round on points if we don't have a winner that's behind him. If you're the crew chief of that driver, you tell him to calm down. Just, hey, take it easy. It's okay. We got plenty of time. Just under 100 laps to go as HUD looks to the inside of Curry for second.
Yeah, this is our first true battle for second with side-by-side action. Oh, Curry up into the wall a little bit. There goes HUD. Oh, really close into turn number 1.
HUD gonna make the pass coming off of turn 2. Give him second position. We'll see if he can try to run down the 11 at Todd Wilson. Chambers now to the inside of Curry for third.
And this is what I was talking about. If you give up one spot here at Martinsville and get stuck on that outside, you're most likely going to be also giving up 2 or 3. Very hard to get back down to where you want to go around here. And Mike Ireland on the tail as well. Look at that 2 car get sideways out of 2.
2 sideways off of 2. Spinning those rear 2 tires. He's going to keep the third position, however. Chambers is going to have to regroup as Menifee with a big move to the inside of Ireland right behind him.
Boy, seeing that out of the corner of my eye, I thought that 3 car was definitely going to hit that quarter panel on the 00, but good driving by both, being aware, not getting into each other. Now the battle on for third. Here comes Chambers to the inside of Curry.
That 3 car trying to start hitting that intimidate button. Chambers has the position through the center. Curry gets loose. Drag race down the back straightaway. Chambers has the nose in front. Curry goes deep down into the corner. Dennis Chambers, though, he's cleared for third.
I've been in Curry's position there where you have a really loose race car off of especially turn number 2 here at Martinsville, and it's fun to get sideways, but it's not all that fast. So hopefully that 2 team, as they tap the wheel just a little bit there again, can make some adjustments here on this upcoming pit stop because they've got some work to do.
You're saying cars that are hard to drive are fun to drive?
Oh, just a little bit.
Ireland gets on by for fourth. Menifee now looking to the inside for fifth.
Of course, this 2 car finishing position doesn't really matter too much, right?
They just want to win, right?
Locked in, right. Yeah, you want a good run here tonight. Set yourself up with good momentum for next week.
Well, that's what our current leader, Todd Wilson, is doing. That 4 car, a HUD, though, starting to close the gap a little bit. Looks like a little more speed in that Ford Mustang.
Yeah, almost 0.2 of a second faster that last time around the stripe for HUD. So really impressive showing thus far for the Ford team, who's had some tough luck throughout the playoffs, not in contention anymore, but a really strong finish here tonight, or maybe even a win, I'm sure would feel great for that Busch team.
Be pretty gnarly.
It sure would.
Folks, make sure if you haven't already, vote in our poll tonight. Which automaker do you think will win tonight here in the All-Star Racing Cup Series event from the Martinsville Speedway? Chevrolet, Ford, Toyota. Or do you think maybe one of the other ones to see a Dodge creeping up there into third with Chambers? Comment it below.
My money's on the Pontiac Level to make it back out of the garage and onto the track.
Got that Pontiac power?
I sure hope so.
And need all of it. Ireland starting to creep up onto the back bumper of Dennis Chambers for third. This is what we talked about, this 00. Just if he can just put together another really solid night, he's going to find himself in that championship 4.
Oh yeah, this is really great. You know, this is what they needed to do. They've been benefiting too from kind of a poor night by Randy Waugh as well as Dave Chin. Of course, Billy Bob's got a lot of work to do if he wants to find his way even near the front. And with Tyler Hunter not here, it's really Mike Ireland doesn't have too much pressure thus far, especially if he can extend that gap that he's got over Dave Chin and the others to get those stage points and be comfortable with that.
Just keep trying to eat those points up, right? Just get
That's right.
You want as many as you can.
Make it hard on your competitors. If they're going to beat you, make them go out there and have to win.
Yep. Make them win the dang race. Watching 3rd through 5th right now. That's Chambers, Ireland, Menifee, 10.003. Running with the big dogs inside the top 5.
Yeah, just outside of the top 5, Nick Curry. I shouldn't say just outside of the top 5 because he's fallen back almost 2
there by a country
seconds
mile.
to it. Yeah, and that 2 team has really been struggling since that opening run. It seems like just nothing's working.
I'm going to resist the joke that I want to say as Ireland goes to the inside of Chambers for 3rd.
00 trying to make up a couple more stage points. Menifee going to come along with him, hang on that rear quarter panel, but that 00 is going to be clear for 3 into 1. Let's look for a lunge. Doesn't really look like it. Menifee
Thought about it.
He certainly did, and now he's going to have Chambers back on the inside.
Chambers having to fight that 3 car, put him closer towards that outside wall to give that 10 a little bit of a better line down into 3 and 4. Gonna get the power down, spin the rear tires. Battle's still on for 4th. Chambers on the inside, Menifee on the outside.
Menifee with a pretty comfortable gap back to the bottom 4 in the standings here. So he just wants good stage points to finish the race, and he's going to be in that final 4. Nothing silly now. With that 3 car, it looks like he's going to start pulling away from the 10. Looks like he was shifting there into turn number 1, Joe.
Yeah.
On the 3rd gear.
What's the benefit there?
You know,
It's
you
a
do
setup
it to
thing,
try and
right?
help your car. Yeah, to try and help your car get in the right rev range, to maybe even rotate a little bit by kind of upsetting the car on that downshift. Personally, I don't like it. I like to keep my car in 4th gear around here at Martinsville, as well as other tracks where maybe it's tempting, aka New Hampshire. I'm a 4th gear kind of guy.
I don't like having to shift.
It's also just taxing not only on you, the driver, but the car as well. How about this, though, Joe? Back up front, the battle for the lead is getting a little bit tighter here.
Yeah, Wilson losing a little bit of shine on that 11 car right now as HUD closing in.
And they've got the lap car of Randy Waugh up ahead of them.
This is the
Randy
final lap
Waugh-
of the stage.
Randy Waugh doesn't want to go a lap down here. I mean, he'll get that lucky dog, sure, but he doesn't want to have to go another lap down, and he was in the last caution, so he wants to be able to not have to start at the back, basically. But it's like we're almost going to get there here. Wilson leading the way really close. Here comes Ireland into the picture.
Todd
But
Wilson,
it's going to be Todd Wilson.
big stage 2.
Well, how about the end of that stage, Joe? We saw after that long run, the 4 of HUD and the 00 Mike Ireland really come into that picture.
And you have to think now they're going to have a little bit better track position, right? So maybe that helps them try to keep up with this 11 on this next run. Good little stage 2.
Absolutely. Pretty exciting at the finish there. We've seen historically some pretty exciting stage finishes at Martinsville over the years. And
Go back to
let's
what
add that
was
one to the list.
Was it Stenhouse fighting Sam the lead lap? Kyle Busch?
That's right. Against Kyle Busch, yep. And I believe it gave the stage win to Chase Elliott.
Probably. It's a shame Ricky Stenhouse doesn't have more fans because of that.
Well, all right, everybody on pit road, no surprise there. The 222 of Parkins staying out to try and lead a lap at some point. Of course, the short pit lane here at Martinsville that really cuts down a lot of the length around here. The already short track. He's not going to get it this time. Todd Wilson leading that lap, but we'll see if anything can be done to that two-car Nick Curry to try and find his way back up towards the front. Is Todd Wilson going to have some harder challenges from Hud and Mike Ireland? And look at Jeremy Menifee, a great pit stop. He gets up into the top 3.
Right off the pit lane for the 3 car. It's going to move Ireland back to 4th. Chambers rounding out your top 5 here. Tommy, I think you know what time it is.
I sure do, Joe. Let's see if we can bring him in. Todd Wilson, it's Tommy Bordeaux back up in the booth. Welcome back, another stage victory, but that time a little bit scarier in the rearview mirror. Hud and Mike Ireland getting closer towards the end there.
Yeah, that gnarly 4 car was really closing in right there, and he had a much better car in the long run, so kudos to him. I don't know if he pitted on that first stop or not, but yeah, he was reeling us in, and I was happy to see the end of the stage because I don't think we're going to be able to last much longer.
Yeah, I mean, talk about it, because you seemed pretty confident that those tires were going to work out okay. HUD stayed out there with you on that first caution. Does that maybe worry you going forward here in this final stage?
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, we have a lot of reason to be concerned. We've just got to take it easy and just try and manage the tires. And I don't know. We'll see. You know, if we have some cautions versus some long runs, we'll just have to pace ourselves and not drive it too hard, not dog it. So.
Well, Todd, it looks like we're going back green here. Good luck here in the final stage. Hope to talk to you after this one.
Yep. Enjoy it, guys.
Tommy, we get ready to go back green flag racing. Todd Wilson, HUD, Menifee, Ireland, Chambers, your top 5.
Here we go once again. So watch that HUD car, see that 4 car up HUD behind Todd Wilson. He's got something for him in the long run, I'm sure. Also check out Mike Ireland with a deep entry into turn 1 on the outside.
I don't think that's going to work out for him. Going to lose the spot. Chambers now to the inside. That 10 car is going to have the preferred line down here into 3 and 4. Ireland again. Big send on the outside. Got to stop doing that.
Yeah, got to watch that. Also kind of using those tires a little bit can be really scary too. Being offline like that can get the car ultra loose, especially when you're sending it in deep.
Starting to have some internet issues on that 002. Not what they want to see. And this is why you try to get all those stage points, right?
Yeah, the internet issues, if you were at a road course like the Roval a couple weeks ago, wouldn't be that big of a deal. At a short track, I can't think of anything worse.
Short track or a super speedway? Intermediate, you can kind of work with it.
Intermediates can be worked with. I think super speedways, I think it's difficult because it's hard to pass you because you don't know where you're going to be. But you definitely have more of a possibility of getting in an incident. At least with short tracks, you're a roadblock that people aren't even going to try and get past.
So you're saying it's a good thing to have internet issues?
Well, it sure is good if I'm the one with them, not if I'm following someone with them.
Well, folks, remember to vote in that automaker poll. Who do you think will take home the checkered flag tonight? Right now, Toyota of Todd Wilson is leading this one out front in that number 11. Then you got a Ford of HUD and a Chevrolet, a Jeremy Menifee with a Dodge Chamber. So we got 4 different ones in the top 4.
Joe, don't look now, but 5th, 6th, and 7th right here. Dave Chin, Mike Ireland, and the 6th of Billy Bob. Those 3 all fighting for their playoff lives here. Mike Ireland in the best position of the 3 at the moment, but this is the first time tonight that Dave Chin's been in front of him. Also the first time tonight we've seen the 6th car up in the running order this high.
I think Billy Bob decided that now's the time to push the go button. Maybe it was laying back early on in this race.
You know, possibly, and certainly would be time to go. They are desperately in a must-win situation after those first 2 stages, so they're going to have to find their way to the front one way or another. Here comes Mike Ireland now on the outside of Dave Chin. He's really exploring that top lane here.
Trying to find a way around, dives down to the inside, down into 1 and 2. Not going to be there just yet. Chin, with these two guys, Tommy, they're both really aggressive going down into these corners on braking.
Yeah, you got to be careful about that. Still plenty of time in this race, just under halfway to go. Ireland's still in a good position. He picked up a couple stage points there, and we know that Dave Chin did not. So at this point, advantage Ireland in the points battle. Got to be careful.
Just don't let him out of your sight, right?
Right.
You got this. Nice and easy. Oh, contact behind him. Curry into the...
Oh, no.
To your corner of Dominator. 99's around. Caution is out.
And Dominator got into Randy Waugh a little bit there.
There's replay. I don't know if maybe the 99 came down or 2 is coming up there.
Yeah, just a tough corner to be side-by-side exiting with right there. And for Curry, you know, not a great pit stop. Really wanted to make some adjustments, and that track position costing him. He's going to come down pit road again, maybe try and play the tire game a little bit.
Don't know how much that's going to help him, though.
We'll see. Fuel not going to be an issue for anybody. You saw them make half the race on the same tank of fuel for those who did not pit, so that's not going to be your concern. Again, tires not that big here. It's really all about track position, and the two's got to try something because it's been a dismal night so far. Again, no pressure on missing the final 4, already locked in there, but still not the ideal send-off you want into the final race.
Well, folks, while we're under caution here, let's get a word from one of our sponsors.
If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with not enough diecast syndrome, have we got the solution for you? Come on down to CircleBDiecast.com on the World Wide Web. Surf the internet and find out what everyone's been talking about. You can turn your room from this to that, just with the click of a button. You may ask, how did you get so many vehicles? That must have cost a lot of shipping prices for all those parcels. No, it didn't, because I used the code JTN on checkout because there was $20 or more, and I used the code when I checked out. Circle B Diecast, it's where you gotta go if you want diecast. There's more stuff too, but yeah.
And we're back. Thank you to Mr. Tommy Bordeaux and all the folks at CircleBDiecast.com for putting together another great spot. And Circle B Diecast annual Black Friday weekly sale is going to be going on next week, so you can use that code JTN at checkout and get yourself even more diecast at an even better price. Again, that's CircleBDiecast.com, code JTN at checkout, for free shipping on your order, $20 or more. Todd Wilson, HUD, Menifee, your top 3 here for the restart, coming at you on lap 89 of 140. Wilson has been the dominant car tonight, has led pretty much every single lap. So we go back green, but HUD in that 4, Tommy, he's going to give him a fight.
He certainly will, and on this restart here, pretty close to the 11 of Wilson. Where that 4 car really shines is on the long run, and you heard it, the concerns from Todd Wilson about that. If this race goes green to the end, that 4 car is definitely going to be one in the picture. Behind him, Jeremy Menifee looking really good on points right now to make it to that final 4, but the real battle is for the 4th spot, both on the track and in the points. Dave Chin in that 88 team defending hard against Mike Ireland, who right now would have that spot in that final 4.
Ireland starting to get some pressure from the 10 of Dennis Chambers. Chambers was running in front of these two before the caution, elected to come down the pit lane and get 4 fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles. So we know that 10 car's got a little more pace maybe than these guys early on in the run.
Ireland looks like he got loose there in the center of the corner a little bit, breaking traction. Chambers definitely going to see that and try and take advantage of it. Wearing that 00 might be just a little loose at the start of this run here.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit. Not so much as Nick Curry and that 2 team, because they've had a handful tonight. Back there in 7th right now, hitting the wall at a 2. Boy, it's just been a disaster for this team, and it really seemed like this race started out pretty okay, but they are struggling now.
Well, I'm sure our leader would definitely say that the driver of that number 2 Ally Financial Camaro is just a hack anyways.
Battle closing in for second place here. Menifee tightening up to the 4 car right behind them. Joe, we talked about it a little bit during the break there. Dave Chin in this 88 and Mike Ireland in the 00. They're gonna be locked in a dogfight right here.
Yeah, those two have been the most aggressive on breaking down to the corners all night long. You see it once again. Chin seems like maybe he's pulled the reins in a little bit more. He's a big fan of that 10 car Chambers right now, though. Hopes that 10 car can get by Ireland, and then he can maybe make a pass here on Menifee or HUD. Get himself some more positions. Give himself a chance if maybe something goes wrong with that 00 late in the going.
Well, that time by, I really saw the 00 of Ireland send it into turn number 1 in that outside lane and slide a little bit there. Got to be really careful. I know he's been trying that high lane, maybe seeing if there's any grip up there that he can use to pass Dave Chin, but he's got to be careful because that 10 behind him is going to try and capitalize on that. The 00 might have tapped the wall there out of 2.
I don't think you want to do that.
You know, not too often. Certainly not.
You like hitting walls?
No, not at all.
I usually only do it if I'm really angry.
Only if they're made out of like, you know, those really soft foam cubes.
Oh, like in the gymnasium.
Absolutely. Smash through them. Hey, here we go. Ireland to the inside of Chin. Contact. They're going around the first straightaway.
Well, we were talking about it, and it's just a matter of time before it happened. The two guys that were racing the most aggressive both go around coming off of turn 4.
Well, this really shakes things up, and for both of those drivers, I'm going to assume they're going to have to come down pit road after sliding around and spinning and kicking up all that smoke and tire rubber in front of everybody else.
88 gets into the outside wall, sends him back across the track, contact with the 00.
Look out, Chin around in front of the leaders too, Joe. While we're watching this replay, and everybody stopped on the track. Chin gets it going again, but oh boy.
Night going from bad to worse for the 88 team.
Oh, and he spun out again out of 2. Oh, here we go. The 88 is going to bring it down the infield. And I think he's calling it quits into the garage, and that's going to be it.
Well,
Tough end.
That leaves 2, Tommy.
That's right, Joe. So it's looking like at this point, Menifee is going to be good on points. That 3 car in a good track position situation, as well as a little bit of stage points there in stage number 2 with just over 40 laps left. And then Randy Waugh and Billy Bob are the only other ones here that can challenge Mike Ireland for that spot. And, well, it's looking like it's going to have to be a must-win for both of those guys. A lot of takers down pit road here. Only Wilson and HUD staying out.
Yeah, gosh, I really would have thought Wilson would consider coming down the pit lane here, because it kind of split up this last stage of the race. Looks like the 6 and 21 went a lap down on the pit lane, too.
Boy, and that's a killer. I mean, those are the 2 that needed to win, and unfortunately for them, that is not what they needed.
Unless I'm not seeing things correctly, which is a possibility.
We'll have to see as they cross the stripe this time how timing and scoring sorts things out. Indeed, those 2 are a lap down.
Woof.
So that caution right there added a lot of craziness to this race, seeing the 88 out of it. And now Mike Ireland in a great position. His 2 competitors that might overthrow him for that 4th spotter. A lap down.
Oh, Tommy. Why did I think this race would end normally? Wilson with control, HUD there in second, trying to play playoff spoiler here late in the going at Martinsville. Green flag, we're back underway.
All right, so Todd Wilson now, no pressure on Todd, who does apply some there into turn number 1, but they know they have the long run cars, and the battle's probably going to be late in the going here if we stay green all the way.
You watch these two leaders battle as the rest of the field tries to sort their way through the lapped cars of Billy Bob and Randy Waugh. Those two looking like their playoff hopes and dreams have been crushed here tonight at Martinsville.
And those two are going to be fighting for the lucky dog position. If we were to get a caution, that's really the only way that they're going to be able to get that lap back. There's going to be no more pit cycles or anything so far under green flag conditions. So they've got to get that lucky dog. They've got to hope for a caution and then miraculously somehow find their way to the front. But it's looking pretty dire at this point, Joe.
Dire straits, indeed, Tommy.
Absolutely.
Don't look now. Nick Curry back up to 4th. Mike Ireland there in 5th. Two teams kind of figured it out, it seems like.
Yeah, they're in the right direction. And for that two team to be able to rebound like that, it's a good sign, especially going into Phoenix next week, because let's say they don't unload that grade there. They're going to have to work on that car a little bit. And certainly tonight looks like they're being able to do that. It was looking pretty bad for them in the middle of the race, but now towards the end, looking okay.
Well, and right now, Tommy, our top 5 contains what will most likely at this point in the race be our championship 4, with Wilson out in front, then Menifee, Curry, and Ireland running 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah, just a little bit of a preview, perhaps, of Phoenix next week. Should be awfully exciting, and for these guys, the whole season to get to this point, and I know they're going to give it all they have to overthrow whoever may be the champion to be. And boy, for Nick Curry and Todd Wilson, they've been the top 2 this season, at least in the playoffs we've seen, and I'm sure Jeremy Menifee and Mike Ireland would like a little piece of that for their own.
Menifee's been really good in the playoffs, kind of sneakily good, right? This 3 team, it's really their whole demeanor, really quiet in the garage area. They kind of, they run their race, they do what they can, and then it seems like more weeks than not, they're getting a good finish. Is that going to be the winning strategy? Not having all the glitz and glam and attention that maybe the 11 and 2 car will have going into next week?
Well, possibly, but I think it would definitely work for them. Quiet is an understatement, I think. That 3 team, remember, when at Talladega was a big deal for them to even make it to this round of 8, and they really capitalized on that success. So if they can really put one out there at Phoenix and just give it all they got with that attention, not so much on them, more so maybe on that 11 or the 2 car, it's kind of a prime position for them to be in.
Like
They've
Ireland,
won when it mattered before.
Exactly. Does that kind of galvanize the team?
But certainly, if you're one of those pit crew guys, or up on the box, or even back at the shop, you feel like, hey, we've been here before, we've done this, and succeeded. We can do that again. So definitely that track record, proven to be quite useful. How about Mike Ireland in a 0-0 here, making a move on Curry for 3rd, or excuse me, 4th. 0-0 team coming alive here last week as well as tonight, and a number of these playoff races. They get themselves into the top 4 and pretty comfortably now with their main competition either out of the race or lap down.
Ireland gets really close there to the back bumper of Menifee. And next week, I know it's Phoenix, it's not a typical short track, but it races a lot like some of these short tracks that we've seen this 0-0 perform very well at. Is that kind of in their wheelhouse next week?
Oh, absolutely. You have 2 braking zones that are unique from each other, but those corners are really kind of road course-esque, right? Oh, excuse me, short track-esque, right? You have one, as you see, Ireland clattering over the curbs there, with a lot of braking in the final turn, with a lot of banking, and then of course the very flat one in turns 1 and 2. There's contact. Oh no, Ireland, hang on.
We stay green.
Wow, we do stay green for Billy Bob and the 16. They wanted that to be a yellow. They're in lucky dog position, but not so.
Replay of what happened there through turns 3 and 4. Ireland just sent it in a little too deep. And Menifee can't beat Happy Camper.
No, certainly not. And now both of them out of the top 3, and for Menifee out of the top 5, but both of them still pretty comfortable as far as the points are concerned. That moves Nick Curry back up to 3rd, Joe.
Hey, look at that rebound.
Quite the rebound indeed for the 2 car, and one more spot to go before he could get back to 2nd place where he had ran for most of the night. Unfortunately for him, it's another 2.5 seconds up the road from there just to get to the lead.
Yeah, HUD doing a great job right now, sitting there in 2nd. And like you said, Todd Wilson, I think this run has shown a little more pace as he gets loose off the corner. I'm not going to say anything more, Todd. Showing some better pace here on this longer run this time.
Yeah, certainly the case here. Maybe a couple adjustments, not just the setup, but maybe how you drive it. Not going as hard as early on, of course. Doesn't have as much pressure as he did in the first run, with Nick Curry following pretty closely behind to start things off as well.
Well, folks, while tonight is the second to last race for the All-Star Racing Cup Series, it's not the second to last race of the year for us here on JTN. We're back live with you tomorrow night for the Hobo Racing Modified Series from the Bullring West. Coverage begins there 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Not going to want to miss that one. Hobo Mods always put on a fantastic show, especially when we're going to have some high banks there at the Bullring West in upstate New York. The USORL Retro Series from the Pensacola Super Speedway. Race 3 of the Noble 3. Coverage beginning there 10:45 p.m. Eastern Time this Saturday night, so late night USORL action. November the 23rd, that's Tuesday of next week, Hobo Racing Cup Series season finale, championship night from the Phoenix Raceway, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Then we stay in the desert the following night with myself and Tommy. November the 24th, All-Star Racing Cup Series at Phoenix, 9:05 p.m. Eastern for that one. And then November the 30th, which is the following Tuesday, let everyone enjoy some Turkey Day celebrations, the Hobo Racing Modifieds, right here at the Martinsville Speedway. All those races, of course, live only on JTN. Yeah.
Joe, are you a turkey guy, or are you not so big on that?
As the caution's out, I'm not big on the cautions
Nick
being
Curry
out.
around up too.
Oh, he's doing burnouts. Let's
celebration.
This changes things. I'll answer your question in a second. And folks that are watching, tell us in chat: are you turkey? You know, maybe you're a turducken. Maybe you like ham. What happens here with Curry? Just again gets loose, Tommy. I think that loose condition came on back.
Yeah, it looks like it did, and they've been running that high line tonight a lot, and that time it bit them. So the 2 in that top 3 position just needed to make it home, really. Unfortunately, that's going to shake things up quite a little bit here.
Oh, Wilson coming down the pit lane. HUD really thought about staying out there.
Oh, man.
You could see him, he slammed on the brakes, tried to get the car turned back right, and for Billy Bob, you know, if this wasn't the caution, you know, if we would have got the caution a few laps ago and then got this caution, that 6 car, he's staying out. He would have been staying out, right? So
that would have been huge for them. Now, it looks like Randy Wall also going to stay out and take the wave around. Remember, these boys are going to have some older tires, but shouldn't really affect them too much, I don't think, Joe. And
have to be on the lead lap to win, right?
Yeah, you have to, really. And, I mean, who knows? Crazier things have happened, and there can be plenty of chaos here at Martinsville. Billy Bob looking like he's going to make it to the pit lane as well as Waz. So Billy Bob with the lucky dog able to do that. Wow, kind of just giving up on that wave around.
Dennis Chambers the first off the pit lane in that 10 car. Then it's Wilson, HUD, Menifee, and Ireland, your top 5. So interesting strategy call there for the 10 team.
Yeah, oh boy. We're going to find out here, really, what can win this race. Todd Wilson's been the class of the field, but for the first time tonight, we're going to have a different leader. How exciting is that going to be, and will that be the way it finishes?
You believe it? First time tonight we've had a different leader.
That's a pretty impressive performance there for the 11, certainly. But got to finish it off too, and there's an opportunity for someone to snatch that away from him. So the pace car lights are out, and we're going to get back going here with a little bit over 10 to go. Dennis Chambers in the lead of this thing, looking for back-to-back victories. Todd Wilson and that 11 crew have led pretty much all night long. There's not much of a race to see who makes it to the Final Four anymore, but that is still a factor. Anything can happen.
The stress level just went up 10 times on the pit boxes for all the fans in the stands of these drivers. Chambers, like you said, with control here late in the going. Older tires on the left side of that 10 car. Let's see how it works. Coming to the line, green flag. We're back underway here from Martinsville, and already Wilson looking to the inside.
Wow, what a terrific restart there for Wilson. He had a great one in Kansas as well that got him to the lead late in the going there as well, before a couple other cautions involving Wilson took him out of contention. But either way, he's going to be fighting hard for this position. But it's going to be really difficult to pass. That track position's so important here at Martinsville.
11 laps to go in this one. Wilson trying to find a way around Chambers. Menifee trying to find a way around Hud. Randy Waugh looking to the outside of Mike Ireland for 5th. Or not, no, he's a lap down.
Yeah, that 6 of Billy Bob is on the lead lap. So they're going to have to push hard, though. His leaders are running away. The battle's up towards the front.
This, of course, is our TWB 10 to go, Tommy.
That's right, and brought to you by GardenLightsDirect.com from porches, patios, and more for all of your outdoor lighting needs. Seasonal holiday lights are in stock now. Go check out the website, GardenLightsDirect.com. That's your TWB 10 to go. As I was saying, here comes Todd Wilson around the outside, takes the lead away from Chambers.
Wilson to the lead, Chambers second, Hud there in third. That 4 car has run second all night. He's trying to run down that 10 to finish in that position. He's facing a challenge, though, from Jeremy Menifee there in 4th.
And as these laps wind down here, getting ever closer to the finish of this thing, Billy Bob in that 16 in 6th position right now. They've got a lot of spots to make up, and not enough time to do it, I don't think. Still might get a caution that can help them out, but it's going to take a miracle.
Gonna need a Hail Mary late in the going here for that 16 to try to advance their way to the Final Four. Menifee misses the corner there a little bit. He's going to lose a lot of ground to this 4. We go back up to our leader, Todd Wilson. Got about a 2.5 car length lead over Dennis Chambers.
Well, Todd Wilson just had the fastest lap of his race tonight on lap number 133. So they've got that car dialed in quite well at this point, and that, if you're the competition, is a scary thing to see.
Especially going into next week, right? You don't want to give a guy momentum going into the championship race.
Absolutely, and yet, here we are. It would be the second win for Todd Wilson in the round of 8. So really showing the strength of that Toyota crew.
5 laps to go.
5 to go. Waugh spinning out of turn number 2. Leaders are on their way by. Going to go on the inside.
Oh,
Look
no!
out, Dennis Chambers. And a caution is coming out here.
And we will have overtime, Tommy.
Just when you thought it might be over,
It's never over.
it's never. Oh boy, and you wonder, 10-car Chambers, when he exited the corner, got into Waugh there. How much
Gotta stay
damage
out.
that 10-car collect?
Gotta stay out.
Definitely have to stay out, but Wilson faking the pit.
Well, viewers at home, they voted Toyota to be the winner here tonight. We'll have to see if that pans out. Toyota with 50% of the vote.
I believe Todd Wilson, the sole remaining Toyota in this race. So if it's going to happen, it's going to come from that 11 car.
I think there are only 2 in the race. And we have a caution, indeed, NASCAR fan 333.
We have caution.
Caution on the speedway.
Well, things I think are going to get a little crazy here, Joe, on the restart. Now remember, single file restarts here. Not going to be too chaotic like if they were side by side, but you know, if you're that second place driver or anyone throughout the field, maybe you try and get a little bit of a jump and send it in the corner, maybe too far. Maybe that's the opportunity that Billy Bob would need to get up towards the front if everybody in front of him wiped themselves out. We'll see.
What is there to lose at this point for any of these drivers?
Well, I think for Mike Ireland, you got to be a little bit more. Well, yeah, you don't have to be careful at this point too much. Same for Menifee, so not really too much as far as the points are concerned. You just would have to worry about the guys. At this point, it is only Billy Bob that could maybe get their way through and sneak out a win, although that's a tough task. Okay, so the pace car lights are out, and we're going to get our green-white checkered here.
It's fun, Tommy. This is fun. This is where the companies get twisted and, well, the faces get fisted.
Possibly, potentially. We have fireworks after this race. They're not going to be in the sky. I think they're going to be in the pit lane.
I hope
It's
they're
not
not.
nighttime here at Martinsville.
Hey, you can still shoot fireworks in the day. Seen it.
Good.
Wilson with control, looking to get one last great restart here tonight. Going to have Dennis Chambers behind him, Hud there in third, Ireland fourth, Menifee fifth. Down the line we go. Green flag. We're underway back here in overtime.
All right, so here we go.
Oh,
Ireland
no.
singing deep cut. Chambers, those two up the racetrack.
We say green.
Yeah. Chambers out of contention. And here comes Nick Curry trying to catch up to Mike Ireland. All of this has put the 6 of Billy Bob up to 4th, but Joe, with one lap to go here, Hud Wilson in command of this race.
In command of this race, Hud there in second, Menifee third. Like you said, Billy Bob there in fourth. Coming through turns 3 and 4 for the final time tonight. Todd Wilson going to take home the checkered flag and the grandfather clock here in Martinsville.
Well, a dominating performance by that 11 car, not just to be out in front nearly all night long, but when he did get behind to make a pass around the outside on Chambers and to show his strength. That 11 team is strong, Joe, and you've got to imagine this is the car everybody's going to be chasing at Phoenix next week.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's been the story all playoffs long, as a replay of the incident here on the last restart. Hud just locks up the tires. Ireland nowhere to go. He kind of gets stalled by it. But Tommy, that's exactly right. I mean, Wilson burns it down here for the fans in Martinsville. I mean, this 11 car, he's gonna be one tough cookie to beat.
Absolutely. And with how good he's been at these kinds of racetracks, you know, Martinsville and earlier in the season, pretty much everywhere, intermediates, sort of a combination short track and intermediate like Phoenix, plays into the hands of this 11 group.
And now we got a demolition derby going on. Got to make sure you destroy any of the evidence, right?
That's right. Well, I mean, the two in the 11, sorry, the Ally car and the 11 getting together at Martinsville post-race, nothing new.
I don't think I got the export, though, so I'm going to have to get that.
I think my stat booth may have gotten that, so I can send it your way.
Okay. To make sure it doesn't have Curry in second.
Well, that's going to be unfortunate then. Because that's where we're at.
Well, we'll move on to our post-race coverage. Tommy's going to go ahead and talk with our top 3 drivers. I'm going to get those results on your screen somehow. And we're just going to have some fun here in post-race. How's that sound, Tommy?
That sounds pretty good. We'll take a moment to let everyone decompress a little bit there. The drivers get settled. And I think first we're going to talk to our winner, Todd Wilson. For the 3rd time tonight, if you've been following us along, of course, that sweep, once again, winning Stage 1 and Stage 2.
How many laps did he lead here tonight?
Well, let's see here, Joe. Tallying up the numbers. Hand scoring going on here.
137 of 142. Or 100, I guess 136, but yeah. A few. He led a few laps.
Just 3 other leaders combining for a total of 6 laps led for the other drivers. That is quite the number.
That's called a
Differential.
clinic.
Right,
Folks.
absolutely.
That is called a clinic.
See if we can go ahead and get some of these drivers down here to talk to us in just a moment.
While we're waiting for that, folks, want to make sure if you haven't already, hit the like button on the video and subscribe to us right here on JTN. Can't thank you enough for all your support as always. It is greatly appreciated, and we could not do any of this without you, the fine folks and fans of us here on JTN.
Well, I got to say, for a Martinsville race, we did see some caution, especially early on, but we also had a pretty long amount of green flag running, especially at the end of stage 1 there and stage 2.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing here tonight. I didn't expect. I expected a little more incident-wise. You know what I mean? I think these guys did a really good job, especially the ones that weren't part of the playoffs, of being mindful of the things that the rest of those guys had going on here tonight. Which is a really big thing. It doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion, at least.
Laura, speaking of talking, we're going to talk to our top 3 finishers tonight, as well as our full final 4. So let's bring in our first driver tonight, the winner of tonight's race, and also the top seed in that final 4. It's going to be the 11 of Todd Wilson. From stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3, in complete control of this race just about all the way. Todd Wilson, congratulations for another dominating performance.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, it was a pretty good night for us. We delivered in the FedEx Toyota Camry tonight. We had, just a lot of things go our way. We avoided all the calamity and, had a good battle there at the end with Dennis Chambers. So thanks to him for racing me clean there. I thought we had a great battle, and I knew I was going to have to go to the outside to make something happen, but he took 2 tires on the stop before that, and I had taken 4, and tires were definitely mattering at that point in the race.
Well, tires were mattering, Todd, and it seems like it's always mattered where you've been running this season, right? You've been so strong here, especially as of late in the playoffs. Momentum, though, it's always a big thing talked about in the garage area in any sport, really. What does it feel like to have all the momentum going into the championship next week?
Yeah, no, it's very important. I think we're amped up for Phoenix next week. Thank goodness it's not a 1.5 mile track like Las Vegas and Kansas. Those definitely were our Achilles heel this season. But no, looking forward to it. I think there's 4 very deserving drivers that will be in the championship hunt next week. I think myself and Nick Curry, maybe Jeremy Menifee and Mike Ireland.
Yep.
So all good short track, flat track drivers. So it's going to be a great showdown out in the desert next week at Phoenix.
So what you're saying is folks need to make sure they're subscribed to JTN, they're following us on Twitter and Facebook, and they're tuning in next Wednesday at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:05 Central.
Exactly right. And if you subscribe, you can also set it up to where you can get a reminder of when the race goes live, so what's not to like?
Hey, he's been up here in the booth so many times now at this point. Todd, he knows the company lines, but Todd, congratulations on yet another win here. All the momentum going into the championship, on making that championship 4. But before we let you go, you're the king, you're the master at it. List off all those sponsors.
Well, it was like I say, it was good to get the win tonight in the FedEx colors. So I was. Did you see what Nick Curry did to me there at the end? So we did another. I know, right? So I'm sure he'll have a T-shirt out next week. So go buy the T-shirt. But no, congrats to HUD and for a great run tonight, and to everyone tonight all season long. It's hard to believe that here we are. We're 1 race left in the season. It's been a long, arduous journey this season. So 1 more race left. So we're hoping to just have a good run. We want to just show up and be competitive, and then whatever happens. So anything can happen in these that's a wild card race. I mean, there's 4 deserving drivers, so there'll be a lot of strong competition next week. So, we're just going to do the best we can and, try and prepare the best we can, and we'll see what happens. But, want to, give a shout out to everyone watching tonight, all my family and friends and everybody. And, and I got to dedicate this win to my old high school tennis coach who passed away last week. I found that out this week. So this one's for Coach Duncan and for everything that Coach did for me, during my time on the tennis team. So I wanted to give that shout out as well.
So sorry for your loss, Todd, but congratulations once again on the victory here tonight, and thank you as always for taking the time to talk with us after this one.
Yep, thanks guys.
Todd Wilson, driver of the number 11, your winner here at Martinsville. Tommy, it feels like I say that every other week at this point.
Yeah, certainly a big moment for them to make it to the Final Four in this fashion. Obviously locking themselves in a couple weeks ago, but the win tonight, obviously with in a dedicated fashion, as well as certainly an emotional victory for them as well. Well, let's bring in our second place driver now, Hud here. It was a great run for the Ford team tonight. A second place finish, just a little short, but it looked like Hud, you had a really great long run car. Congratulations on a great second place finish.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was tough there sometimes.
Looks like you definitely had some good long run speed early on in the race, but later on, kind of a lot of cautions toward the end, maybe hampered that ability to get closer to Todd Wilson. What did you need at the end there just to maybe try and get that one last spot?
Yeah, I wasn't going to race Todd that hard. I just, he's in the chase and I'm not, and I wasn't going to take him, damage his car and let him get the win. And I'll let him get the win. Hey, who am I kidding? Yeah, I couldn't catch him. No, but I just, Martinsville is one of my favorite tracks. Got a good setup here. The crews did a good job, and I could just went out and did a race. Just try to be clean.
Well, Joe has a couple issues right now. The Busch Mustang has had some tough luck in the past couple weeks, but a good rebound finish tonight. That's got to feel good, especially going to Phoenix next week. How do you feel about Phoenix? Of course, not in the championship for sure, but at least just to try and finish the season on a strong note. How does this 14 feel about that track?
Oh yeah, we feel good, really good. That's another one of my favorite tracks, and we feel good going in there. And we won't bother the guys that are in the chase. We'll let them go. If they get on us and we're not fast enough, and but we'll go out there and fight for our own win. Got close to it tonight, but this ASR is an awesome league, and everybody gives everybody room when it's time to give them room. So that's where I'm going to be next week. I'm going to go out and do my race and go for the win and see how it turns out.
Well, how'd you bring in this season to a great close after some tough luck early on in the playoffs and the elimination, obviously. Congratulations on the fantastic second place run here tonight. But before we let you go, floor is yours. Sponsors, family, friends. You know what to do.
Yeah, I don't have no sponsors. I got ASR, and I got me. Sponsor me.
Hey, that's the easiest sponsor to please, right? I mean, you know exactly what they want, and you know exactly when you're doing something they don't want, right? When it's yourself, I mean, it's that easy. I sponsor myself. But
yeah, but Joe, I think it's even worse because then when I mess up and do stupid stuff and wreck or whatever, yeah, I'm yelling at myself. I'm probably my worst critic. So.
Hey, nothing wrong with a little self-deprecation, but none of that tonight, Hud. Congratulations once again on the second place finish, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us after this one.
Thanks for all you guys do, and thanks for doing the TV stuff and the broadcasting. And hey, thanks for pulling me down here and listening to me jibber jabber. So love you guys. Great racing for everybody out there. and love ASR. See you guys next time. See you next week at Phoenix.
That's right. The confidence there, HUD. Congratulations. ASR HUD, driver the number 4 Mustang, your second place finisher here tonight. And Tommy, I believe we got 2 more drivers. We got our third place finisher, and we have our other driver out of our championship 4.
That's right. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Jeremy Menifee, finishing third tonight in the race and also advancing in the 3-car to the Final Four. Jeremy, congratulations on making the Final Four. You had a good buffer of points going into Martinsville, but you knew that anything could happen. A strong, strong night tonight for this team. Rolling pretty good into Phoenix. How do you feel about next week?
I feel pretty good. I like Phoenix.
Well, you and this 3 team, you've had a lot of momentum going as of late. Obviously, the big win at Talladega, you got yourself through this round that seemed like it was the most treacherous to date. You feel good at Phoenix, but what is going to be the key next week? Is it going to be, just making sure you execute your strategy, staying up with those guys that have been so dominant throughout the year, or are you just kind of going to run your own race, run in your own bubble?
I believe I'll be able to run with them at Phoenix.
Hey, it's always a good plan to run up with them, but after the calamity we saw tonight, do you have any reservations maybe about some guys running a little too aggressive next week, running around you, knowing that you have a lot more to fight for than they do?
Everybody's out there trying to win the race. So.
Fair enough. Jeremy, third place finish here tonight. You're advancing to the Final Four. Before we let you go, though, anyone you want to shout out, thank, sponsors, you know what to do.
I appreciate you fellas for what y'all do. Makes a good broadcast. And ASR for putting on the race.
And Jeremy, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us after this one. Congratulations on another great run, this awesome finish to the season, and hopefully we're seeing you hoist that trophy next week in Phoenix. Congratulations once again.
All right. Have a good night, fellas.
Jeremy Menifee, your third place finisher, driver number 3 Chevrolet. And now, Tommy, we bring in the 4th of our Final Four, driver the number 00 Ford, Mike Ireland. Mike, how's it feel to be racing for a championship?
Oh, yeah, howdy. Doing pretty good.
Sorry, I know we grabbed your PR person real quick. They said it was okay. We good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with talking. I have time.
All right, but tonight was an up and down night. How do you feel about the run here tonight?
Well, it was hard to pass. I wish I would have qualified better, but I had fun with the track. Once Dave was my biggest competition, but once he retired, then I could really try. But I tried passing on the outside, and it was pretty tough to do.
We saw. So speaking of that, we saw when you're doing trying to make those passes on the outside. You made your braking zone even later, trying to get that momentum. Was that the only way you could have done that? Was there maybe some other techniques that you thought about using, or you tried to use in the past that you just didn't want to go back to, or was it really just trying to outbrake a guy on the outside and then ride the momentum coming off the corner?
Oh, I tried passing Jeremy that one time on the inside. I don't know if I came up a little bit, but we hit. I felt bad about touching him there, but really I didn't have to make any more passes really, but I did hit Jeremy that one time on the inside. I don't know if he came down, but I'd have to look at the replay.
Well, Mike, turning our attention to next week at Phoenix, you're going to be racing for a championship. We know you're really good on these shorter tracks. Phoenix, not your typical short track, but it has a lot of those characteristics. What do you think the key is going to be for you and this 00 team to be hoisting that championship trophy next week out in the desert?
I'll set the car up to my likings again. I'll make it so I can go hard into the turn. I like setting those shocks up so I can go in deep if I have to, and I try to make it for a little bit. I had this set up for long run. I'm going to make that one to make sure it's a longer run setup too. And it's all about not burning those tires off and making them mad at you.
They always seem to get so frustrated at you. I'm just asking for another 10th or 2. I'm not asking for that much. But, Mike, congratulations on a great season to date. advancing yourself to the Final Four. I know it's a big win for all four of you guys making it so far in this championship battle. But before we let you go, the floor is yours. Anyone you want to shout out, thank, sponsors, family, friends, you know what to do.
Yeah, thanks for ASR sponsoring the races. Thanks for you guys doing it. And my wife cooperated and let me eat sooner. So I made the full race. And I told her next week after that, we can take a little bit of a break.
Take a little bit of a break, but enjoy this run up to the championship. Mike, congratulations once again on a great run here tonight. Top 5 finish and advancing yourself into the Final Four. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Yep, I'll be practicing for this race.
Going to be a lot of practice going on in the 00 shop. Mike Ireland, your 5th place finisher and your final of the Final Four. Tommy, we got a show for these folks at home next week.
We certainly do. 4 drivers going for 1 title. And it seems like, of course, Todd Wilson and that 11 crew is going to be the one to beat, but don't count out Nicholas Curry. He's had some good finishes this season. Jeremy Menifee has won when it counted, and Mike Ireland always seems to be there at the end. It's going to be a fun show from Phoenix, Arizona.
And if you don't want to miss that show, there are a bunch of great ways to make sure you don't miss it. You want to make sure you're subscribed right here on our JTN YouTube. Hit the bell icon. You'll get notified anytime we go live. You can also follow us on Twitter at JoeTowNetwork, on Facebook at JoeTowNetwork. We post the day of the broadcast, so you can go over to those platforms as well and make sure you keep up to date. We're also got that Black Friday sale going on that's going to start next Monday, so you're going to want to, keep your eyes peeled to the JTN socials. We'll be posting those codes. Good deals coming for you on that JTN merch store, on all the JTN merch. With all that being said, can't thank you enough for tuning in here tonight. Again, leave a like on the video. It does so much to help support us. Subscribe. Tell us what you think of our broadcast. We're always looking for ways to improve. And we can't thank you, again, enough for tuning in here tonight. For Bristol, our producer, for Tommy Bordeaux, I've been Joe Twansky, and we'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checkered. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh,
in Africa!
they're wide!
Who did that?
Turn 4 into the tri-oval. Whitehill is through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
All right, and they're wrecking behind them. We got cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down, but it doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in the 3 car.
Comes Musa. Musa's gonna.
Oh, he's going to use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're going to be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's going to be a drag race to the line. So Musa gets it.